Guys, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. I'm also doing well. My name is Rispa Nyabate for those who don't know me, and welcome to today's video. It's been a while since I made a video, but I'm glad to be back. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As you can see, today I'm not alone. I'm gonna be making a video with my long-time friend, actually a friend who has been more like a sister to me. So today I'm going to make this video together with her, and today we are going to be talking about
mental health and mental wellness.
yeah, we're gonna be talking about mental health and mental wellness. Before I continue, her name is, do you want to introduce yourself? Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi guys, my name is Priska, having a conversation with Rispa. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe, share this content. Rispa natwanga mali safi, my friends, so please share, subscribe. We want to reach some target. Our target is over 1,000 people. By the end of this video, please make sure we are over 100k, over 1k, sorry, 100k is too far.
100k is a long call.
Yeah, so but guys, 1k to us. Thank you.
Yeah, so her name is Priska, a long-time friend of mine who has become more like a sister to me. So yeah, we were talking and discussing things, and we decided to make today's video a bit personal. As you all know, I talk about self-care, self-awareness a lot, because it's a big thing for me. I believe in just getting to know yourself, in being aware of the environment you are in, and always putting yourself first in everything, always living a healthy life so that you can be okay all around it. So yeah, today we are going to be talking about mental health, and we were thinking it's now towards the year. People have gone through tough times, people have gone through good times. Personally, I've gone through so many challenges, and if you are not careful, you might just end up going through situations which might not lead the right direction, especially if you have gone through unexpected situations that cause too much stress. So my friend Priska here knows a lot about mental health. Based on, do you want to tell us more?
Generally, I'm a mental health advocate. For the purposes of this interview, I'm a mental health advocate, where we advocate saying that there is no health without mental health. So for the viewer, mental health and mental wellness forms a whole critical point in life of a human being. If your mental health is fine, you will be able to acquire wealth. But if your mental health is not okay, you're not able to even acquire wealth, or even reason on how to acquire that wealth. But everyone wants their life to be better every single day. But every single day you cannot be able to perform if your mental health and your mental wellness, or let me use this, if your faculties are not functioning properly.
By faculties, meaning your mind,
body and soul. If your faculties are not in coordination, or in sync, have not been synchronized with how the environment is happening or what is happening, so that you can make intentional decisions on how to handle life. Because what I know, we are a third world country, and most of us are middle income generating people, or the lower cadre of the social status. But then we usually get hit differently. People get hit differently by different situations. So you have to know on how to handle your mental health for survival, and for you to achieve your full potential. Yes.
I've always wondered, okay, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
At what point do you realize, okay, when it comes to mental health, I've realized there are different levels of mental wellness. And there are so many things that could lead to worse situations.
Yeah, sure.
What are the kinds of things that sort of lead to worse situations? Because I know there's stress, there's this depression, there's other forms of mental disturbance, even post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. So how do you categorize them?
First and foremost, let's define what mental health is or mental wellness is. From a layman's point of view, I'm not a doctor or a researcher, but I'll try saying that mental health is a form of having both your physical health, your social life, and economic life having a certain balance. That is now, it's a state of mind. A mental health is a state of mind where your health is balanced with your physical, your social, which is the environment, and your spiritual bit of it. Because we are human beings, we don't live in an island. For a human being not to live in an island, it indicates that one should be able to live with the others. No wonder the social bit. Physical bit, it's how you behave, how your physique is. You know, sometimes people can say, I'm very fine, they would smile, hi, I'm fine, but inside them, they're not fine. And it can show from even their facial expression. Yes, they're giving a plastic smile, but instead, inside their heart, when you observe them for a few minutes, again, it's another whole lot of story. And then for the spiritual bit of it, for the sake of this interview, or for me, I believe there is a higher power that is over me. I believe in God. So if your spiritual life does not synchronize with how you think again, there is a problem. So back to the question, how do you know that this person has an issue?
Yeah, how do you...
Number one, of course, it starts with your hygiene. A simple thing as brushing your teeth. The people who don't brush their teeth, when they're asked questions, they say, I forgot. How do you forget brushing your teeth? Number two, showering. There are places you get, for instance, Mombasa is very hot, but you find somebody just doesn't want to shower. Somebody doesn't feel like, I want to shower. And number three, again, for the physical bit of it, somebody just decides to dress like that way. Should I say
they don't put much effort?
Yeah, should I say in our local slang, kifawadhari? They just dress like, oh, I have a pink blouse, green trousers, and red shoes. For them, you find that looking at it, we won't judge because fashionistas these days behave differently. But then there is this structured way of dressing. You dress decently as per the occasion. Many a times you find somebody has just left themselves like that. That is for the physical bit of it. For the social bit of it, you find a key indicator is somebody who wants to be all alone, closed up, in a room without talking to anyone. They
What
feel
if
like
it's a personality? Because I feel like I'm more like that.
Yeah, it depends. It's a personality. There are people who are looking at how your patterns. You know, these things are not like to everyone, but of course somebody
There
has
are some
to be
extreme cases.
Yeah, there are some extreme cases where somebody really needs to be observed.
Oh, okay.
This is it.
Yeah.
The person who observes you is a third party. You don't know it by yourself.
Oh, okay.
Somebody who diagnoses you with a mental health condition is not yourself, because you are a human being. You are a social human being. A social human being associates with people. For the time you've been living with people can always look at your behavior pattern.
Oh, yeah.
And your behavior pattern now brings those, we call them red flags.
Oh, yeah. For example, if I've been a very social person, I like to go out, I like to go to hang out with friends, I like to go to church, and then all of a sudden, there comes a time no one sees me in the social setting,
Yeah,
in the normal
sure.
social settings.
Yeah.
When I'm at home, I lock myself in my bedroom. I don't come out.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't do things like the usual way.
Yeah,
The
sure.
normal, the usual way I'm accustomed to doing it.
Yeah,
So I start to
sure.
do things different.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, with such, then now if you're so secluded and you just want to be all alone, and then also I am saying sometimes you're so secluded, your tone of conversation as a human being,
Yeah.
you look at life so differently in that for everything that you see, you don't see anything positive. There are those people who see things every time on a negative side, on a negative side. You need sometimes to appreciate nature. There are people always, I don't know if you've ever been with people who always, when you associate with them, you get a lot of negative energy.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm alone in this conversation, but
No, I understand.
there are people, when you go to them, they always see things negative about somebody. They don't see anything positive about this person. Such people need to be observed.
Oh.
Yeah, it is what it is. Huh? People need to be observed for the spiritual bit of it. Somebody, you are probably singing in the church choir. You used to go diligently sing in the praise and worship team, or sing in the church choir, or even helping cleaning up the church, or doing things to the glory of God for his ministry. You all of a sudden decide, even church is not important. Those are indicators that this person is not okay. And then another thing is, either find somebody having these two extremes. Either they talk too much, yet they were people who used
to be quiet,
very
and
quiet and reserved. Or you find this person who had a choleric or an outgoing personality. Now, all quiet, thinking of suicide issues. And then another thing that people should be able to be on the lookout is the kind of content that this person does watch.
Oh.
The kind of content.
Yeah.
You know, guys
what
look
they are
at.
drawn
Yeah.
to most of the time.
Yeah, you can, sometimes you can always know somebody's personality with the kind of content they watch, with the kind of people, of course, they associate with. And spiritually, they either, on another side about spiritualism, they either become over spiritual or they just go away from spirituality.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yeah, there are people sometimes who become over spiritual. They are brainwashed with religion to an extent. This interview, people even to an extent go to selling property for the sake of the gospel. I think it's in public light, and it can be quoted. You can go to the social media channels or media houses where there was one faithful of a certain church who had decided to sell a very prime property in Upper Hill for the sake of the gospel.
Oh, okay.
I think it was all over.
So
place.
yeah, it was on TV.
It was on
media.
TV. I don't know if for this interview I'm supposed to say the name of the church. Let's be nice, because we can make other people leave that church, and probably it has benefited
Or
them.
even look at us, feel like we are judging them.
Yeah, we are not judging.
But we are not.
And I remember it had to take the sisters and the brother of that person to literally get hold of the documents. As in,
oh yeah, the relatives, they had to come and fight on her behalf.
On her behalf, and withhold the documents so that a prime property shouldn't be sold.
So how does this, like, being over spiritual and being like falling like, how do I put it? When someone is brainwashed and they actually fall into
the trap,
like, how does it translate to that person having stress? Could it be they're just ignorant in nature?
For me, looking at the spiritual aspect of it, you know the way I believe in religion, I believe in spirituality, but there is a place where you have to face religion with your mind. As you believe in God, you also have to think.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are people who go to religion just as sheep for confusion purposes. And when they go there,
They follow whatever
they
they're told.
follow blindly. You know, I believe in the Bible, and this is how I believe in the Bible. It used to be told, just as Paul would say, be like the Berean church. When the church pastor or when your spiritual cover, let me use this, when your spiritual cover preaches something, go back home and read to confirm that whatever that your spiritual cover was saying.
Yeah, confirm everything.
Yeah, so you see,
And
people
always
sometimes
pray to the Holy Spirit to guide you. Yeah.
But then you see some people, they just want to listen. Of course, with how the stress levels have gone, you find people who want to just listen to whatever that they want to hear with their ears. They don't want to face the reality again.
I understand. So in this case, someone could be in a situation where they feel so stressed that anything they are told that can make them feel better, especially from a spiritual perspective,
Of course, yes.
they fall into
The
trap very fast because it makes them feel better.
Yeah, and then they are willing to even give out everything of theirs so that they can they get to enjoy that conversation.
Or even most of the times they just make unreasonable decisions.
You find somebody, again, you find either somebody, another indicator, somebody either spends all the money doing shopping for expensive clothes, of which they'll only put on once or twice.
Oh yeah, it's actually a mental thing.
Yeah.
There are people who shop to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, you find somebody having over 50 pairs of shoes. But then when you ask them, this shoe, how long have you worn it? They're like, I just bought it. The next time or then there are those people who spend on that. Or there are other people who even spend money for social responsibility, forgetting themselves. You find somebody who goes to town and they feed children in the streets. Then in the evening they're like, oi, mnisaidia na 20 bob ya kwenda nyumbani. Yeah, those are just some of the few indicators that somebody is not okay. But people should be very careful when you start listening to people's conversation or somebody that is very close to you behaving in a certain way that is not in line with how they have been behaving all along, then you should be able to see these are red flags.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as we discuss, I don't have ready questions in mind. I'm just talking. As we discuss, I'm trying to relate to some things.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how do you differentiate stress and depression? At what point do you know the extremes?
Okay. First and foremost, you should understand, stress is never a negative thing.
Yeah.
There is positive stress and negative stress. Why should I say there is positive stress? This is the stress that will stretch you to be the better version of you compared to what you were yesterday. For example, you have done you finished up your O levels. You started off as a cashier in the supermarket. You decide I'll not be a cashier for long. You enroll for a diploma course in accounting. Of course, you have assignments to meet, you have deadlines here and there. So, of course, you'll have a lot of stress balancing between work and school. That is positive stress. Because after you graduate with your diploma certificate, when you present your papers, you'll get a promotion.
Yeah.
Another, as you elevate, when you go to your degree, to your master's and to your PhD, that is positive stress. Then there is this negative stress, where every time you get to see something, you easily get agitated or snap over something small. Over something that can be discussed among like RISPA and PRISCA, and then you just get you lot of
Everything out of proportion.
and
Wah.
and you just go and bring third parties and
Really?
third and fourth parties. That is
Oh, you
stress.
overreact.
You overreact over situations
Mm.
that can be solved amicably.
Mm-hmm.
So, agitation and irritation,
Mm-hmm.
those are stressors.
Mm-hmm.
Those are negative stressors.
Mm.
Or sometimes you get an environment,
Mm-hmm.
some work environment
Mm.
that is toxic
Or highly stressful.
or highly stressful, in that you have a lot of pressure.
Mm.
The CEO gives pressure to your director. The director gives the pressure to your HOD. The HOD gives pressure to your supervisor, and the supervisor now gives the supervisor gives pressure to you.
To you. Mm.
You see now, you'll not be able. Yes, you want to perform, you want to earn money,
Mm.
but you have to work around. You know what, guys? There is both negative stress will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Positive stress will be there.
Mm.
It's how to survive this is to learn to work around the stress.
Mm-hmm.
How you work around the stress
Mm.
will determine your chances of survival. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that is now the positive and the negative stress. So, for instance, how do you know that somebody is stressed, and how do you know that somebody is depressed?
Depressed. Mm.
For somebody to be able to, if somebody is stressed and they are able to speak it out that I wasn't happy with this,
Mm-hmm.
and then things change,
Mm-hmm.
then that person was stressed, but then it is manageable.
Mm.
But for somebody that is depressed, this is a person who sees things that are not done well according to them,
Uh-huh.
and they just pile up.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep quiet. They become immune. They're like, you just do it. They become immune. But in their safe spaces, where they hid in their corners, you find this person crying. You find this person living life as if it's not theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You find somebody talking about suicide or suicidal ideations. They're
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
I'm better off dead
Than
than
having
alive.
to deal with this
Have-
kind of life.
yeah, or I'm better off dead in this family
Wow.
than being able to be alive
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So when you have such red flags, you know that this person is depressed. And with depression comes other issues.
Mm-hmm.
Depression brings about post-traumatic stress disorder,
Mm-hmm.
and even, or you will hear some doctors saying major depression episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And with the depression, you can always also get some issues with your thyroid. Your thyroid can be hyper or hypo. No wonder the behavior of having either extreme negative energy or extreme positive energy, or you're either too having high energy that cannot be controlled, or you have got no energy
At all.
at
Yeah.
all.
Mm.
And then another thing is with depression again,
Mm.
depression can bring suicide. Because you'll find somebody just writing suicidal notes. You find somebody doing a lot of writing of things that are not there. Or somebody just having a euphoria way of thinking. Their thinking is out of this world.
Mm.
Of course, I'm not discrediting the people that are creative.
Yeah, there are people that but truly that is how they were born.
They were
They
born.
always think extra.
Yeah, but then, as I said from the beginning of the video, you need a third party, a professional, either a professional counseling psychologist, a doctor, or even a psychiatrist, and somebody that you have been close to be observing such explanations. And even your parent, sometimes you're sick. It's a parent knows how their child was born and how their child has been behaving. By the fact that a parent knows how you've been behaving.
Or a close relative,
or
a brother or a
sis-
sister,
or a sibling.
a sibling, yeah.
Yeah, with all those, and then when they're taken to the doctor is able to assess. And another thing that people just take lightly, when you have frequent headaches.
Frequent headaches.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you'll always find somebody in their bag having a painkiller.
Oh.
It's not, I don't mean that it's bad to have a painkiller with you everywhere. but then looking at your behavior before and now, you're always having a painkiller in your bag. It shows that this pain, headaches don't come from heaven.
They must be caused by something.
There is something that has triggered them.
Yeah, so it's always good to gauge yourself.
Yeah.
There is normal headache. Headache can even be caused by eyesight
Yeah, or even lighting.
or lighting. Too
Yeah.
much light.
Yeah, but then
Too much
sometimes,
lighting.
sometimes again you find somebody who hasn't organized their thoughts well. You know, sometimes they tell people, learn to organize your thoughts. If you've not gotten enough rest again, you'll get a headache. And when you don't have enough rest, you'll be stressed and you cannot deliver. You cannot give the best output in this country. Ideally, how many hours are we supposed to sleep, by the way?
8 hours.
6 to 8 hours for adults.
Yeah.
8 hours wachie watoto.
Well, but 8 hours, honestly,
8 hours,
is scientifically
yeah.
advised
Yeah.
to take
For
8
for
hours
this,
rest.
looking at how your schedules are, guys,
Yeah, by
6 to 8 hours is fine. And it means total rest. If you're not able to sleep, like seriously sleep, insomnia, hey, signs of stress and depression are there. Yeah, you need to see a doctor. You need to see a counseling psychologist so that you can get the root cause of why you're not sleeping.
Okay.
Appetite again. There are people who don't eat when they're depressed.
And there are people who eat a lot,
Yeah.
like me.
So when you're depressed, you might find somebody who hasn't eaten for like 3 or 4 days, and they're happy. They
And
have
they're okay.
energy. Yeah. I remember one time years back, went down. It's unfortunate, yes, or it's fortunate. I went down. For 3.5 days, I hadn't eaten, or 4 days. I was only taking water, and I was so happy. But then, when life happened, it happened. But here we are today, thanking God for the fact that He has brought us.
Yeah.
And we are well, completely well, off
Yeah.
medication, celebrating 2 years off medication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about that, by the way.
Yeah,
I hope you're
later.
comfortable.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, there's one more thing. So we have seen the extremes of stress and how to gauge depression.
Yeah.
And we know that depression can lead to worse things, which we are going to talk about.
Yeah.
There's one thing I feel like is very important to talk about.
Yeah.
Positivity and negativity.
Of course.
Okay, so at what point do you know there are people who are positive, but again, you find them being blindly positive to a point where you sense some form of ignorance
Yeah.
or some form of denial.
Yeah, sure.
Someone just wants to be positive even over things that can harm them, or they want to be positive over unrealistic things. You are positive over something that really does not make sense. Should I give an example? I
Just
don't
give
know.
an example.
For example, you're in the wrong relationship with someone. You have this partner with you. Rispa, from my side, when she looks at you, she sees you with the wrong person. But you are constantly telling her, Aki, I'm happy. He gives me all the money I want. He takes me anywhere I want. He does for me shopping.
But what
Tomorrow I'm going to go. We are planning ourselves. Tomorrow we are packing. We have a trip. We are going to travel to Dubai. I'm moving to a bigger house in Kilimani. But when we look deep into that relationship, there's a lot that proves that you are in the wrong relationship. But now you have chosen to be positive over things that are not really
Over physical things.
physical things.
Yeah, should I say so?
Yeah. So you see, there are people who are positive, very positive. In fact, this person, you find them happy all the time. They look at things just differently, but it is to their disadvantage.
Yeah.
There is that bit of positivity. That's
Extreme
just one.
positivity.
Yeah, that's just one example. Another thing is, say, Akini, which example should I give? Have you ever had someone just praise someone blindly? in church,
To an extent of almost worshipping them.
to an extent of worshiping someone. In church, at work,
Yeah.
you are even political leaders.
Yeah.
You look at someone like their God.
Yeah.
That is, it can be, there's a gray area, and there has to be boundaries, because now there's some level of ignorance that can be introduced into positivity in the name of I always look at things from the positive side of life, but it can actually be ignorance.
Yeah.
And then there's negativity.
Yeah.
There is negativity that is okay and negativity that is not right.
Sure.
I have seen negative people, totally negative. I have looked at, have you ever sat with someone and when maybe you're talking about the economy, they do not see anything good, they don't want to say anything positive, they don't want to look at, they don't even want to look at, look at something negative that could actually work to be good at some point. There's negativity that is just wrong. Say, for example, negativity that is driven by hate. Negativity that is driven by resentment.
Witch hunt.
Negativity that is driven by witch hunt.
Yeah.
Negativity that is driven by ignorance.
Yeah, sure.
Because you, why is the phone dark? Yeah, so moving on, that was a short. Yeah, so there's negativity that is a bit of negativity that is led by hate, negativity that is led by resentment, by witch hunt, negativity that is led by what? Just negative. There's negativity that is not right, but there is negativity that is more. What's the right word to use?
More pronounced.
Negativity that is okay. There's negativity that is based on your environment.
Yeah, sure.
You could be surrounded by toxic people, and so you form this character to almost like block yourself or help yourself
Or even mask yourself.
or mask yourself.
Yeah.
There is negativity that is I don't know. Okay, you can't really look at negativity in the right way, but there's negativity that has been caused by a toxic environment, toxic situations, being around wrong places. So where is the balance between this positivity, which is good and bad, and negativity, which we should not be praising, but it could have been caused by something?
This is what I could say. It's my opinion. I stand to be corrected in the comments. There is positivity and negativity. When we started off, we said mental health is a combination of your physical.
I hope your
Spiritual.
voice is okay. You can be heard.
I hope I can be.
soft.
I hope I can be heard. I think I'm loud, but I'm saying the positivity. You can, from the conversation when we started, a mental health is about your physical, spiritual, and social combination. It's a combination of the three aspects, as I would have said from the word go. So, with all that, from where I sit, I believe in having that gift of intuition. When your spiritual bit of it is okay, when you are able to reason, at the same time believe in God, because I believe in God myself, God is able to make you discern.
Oh yeah.
When you're able to discern, you'll find people praising you, so that you can be able, so that, for example, politicians, you're from the electioneering period, people would praise you, people would, it was all over media, I stand corrected, you'll find people putting on their Azimio t-shirts. They would praise the Azimio people. They go. Then, when they know that the other team was coming, the UDA team and the Kenya Kwanza team, you find somebody, people literally
Same people.
practically the same people practically changing t-shirts in corners to support them. When guys come, you're told, Mheshimiwa, these people are for you. But when you look at the faces, a research was done by international media and even our local media. People are there to make money. So the positive aspect of it, you have to be very careful. And for the negative aspect of it, I can say this. There are people who are naturally negative. But then, there is this negativity that helps you avoid trouble again. Yeah? When the Bible says that, the Bible, when the Holy Book, which is the Holy Bible to me, it says that scripture is meant for progress, correction, and other things. There is that portion of correction. So if the Bible can correct you, it gives you the negative aspects of life. So when the negative aspects of life are formed there, it tells you that you need to do 1, 2, 3. So you need to know the gift of intuition, so that you know that if somebody tells me this is a no, they're telling me it's a no for reasons good to me.
Oh, okay.
There are places you are told, do not step here. Not that yes, you see all the prospects going towards that direction, but you're told, please don't go to this direction. And if you listen to that intuition and listen to what they're telling you, you will avoid trouble. But then there are negative people who don't want to see you progressing. So
Or people who are always looking at things in a negative way.
Or even
There's critical, like me, my personality, I'm very observant, and I try to look at things very critically
with a third eye.
with a third eye. And in some situations, you could perceive it as negative, but there's something I'm seeing behind
The curtain.
the curtain. I see something different, and so I find myself slowly either drawing out of a situation or choosing to deal with it, but with wisdom. So negativity,
That is why I'm saying you need to have your intuition, or people say the gut feeling communicating. You should always sit down and understand what is your gut feeling telling you.
okay, so that
If the gut feeling tells you that this is not okay, you better listen to it. There is this secular song that says, listen to your heart. You better be listening to your heart. And if you believe in a spiritual being, for me being a Christian, always consult God in all your plans. And always get somebody who tells you the truth about yourself.
okay,
Somebody can be, they can be family,
that's very good. Yeah.
they can be family, or they can be a close friend who tells you as it is.
As it is. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm told, Priska pale umechoma. Kubali umechoma, my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
There are
Yeah.
people,
That's very
but
good.
you see what has happened? People have been so brainwashed to always be to always being told the positive side
The
of
positive,
it.
yeah.
Ati, you're beautiful, you're
Oh.
what? But then, my
Yeah, I
friend,
like to be told the truth.
My-
If you think I'm nasty, just tell me so that I change.
yeah.
If you think maybe there's something I don't, the things some things I do or say are offensive to you, I would love to know so
Should
that
I say?
change.
Should I say? There are people, someone like me. I need to be given tough love, to be told the truth as it is, so that I can improve. Because if you now tell people, oh, you'll just be fine, you better tell me the truth. If
Yeah. So
Priska, you're sick,
oh yeah.
accept that you're sick. This is the discipline of how you to get about the sickness. I'll be able to listen. That's why I'm saying you need to also surround yourselves with the correct people. When the
Okay.
Bible says that, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are,
Who you are. Yeah.
you need to understand the kind of people you're dealing with.
You are dealing with the people you choose to surround
Yeah.
yourself with.
When you are at work, my friends, kindly know whoever that you are with at work is your colleague,
Yes.
not your friend.
Not your friend.
For this one,
You must have boundaries.
yes.
I'm telling you, if you are just open, people have different personalities. Some can be very hurtful, some are malicious,
Yes.
some are loving and kind. You can learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
So you need to always be very keen on your surrounding.
Yeah, the bottom line is when you are at work, whoever that you associate with, before you become friends or anything, know that number one, these are my colleagues, and we are here to earn money, work, earn money, and go home. If you have those things in mind, then you can easily be able to handle the negative energy. I'm telling you, there are people who are naturally negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who are naturally negative. So if you know that you're here, and for example, let me use RISPA. If RISPA is my colleague and you are employed, we are in the same team, we are supposed to hit a target. If RISPA is a negative person, somehow I'll have to get a way to work around RISPA with her negative energy so that we work. I'm like, oh, Priska and RISPA, you have been tagged along. There is this deal that you need to go sign off. Though RISPA has negative energy, but all of us are in the same team.
And we have to work together.
And we have to work together.
Even if I'm annoying,
yeah,
you
and
just
even,
find a way.
and we have a target. So I know, regardless of RISPA being a negative person,
or whatever
whoever
you think of RISPA,
yeah, I'll have to pick her.
Yeah, take her along and just
We
work
go.
for.
Because sometimes you might be seeing RISPA as a negative person, but when you sit close to them, probably their childhood wasn't the best. No wonder they are behaving the way they are behaving.
Yeah, or maybe they've gone through a traumatic experience.
Yeah. There are people, sometimes you see them to be very negative, but when you have a closer look to them, when you just ask just a little of how their childhood is. With mental health issues, you also look at their childhood. Some people's childhood wasn't the best as you guys are. And how you cope to stress, how I cope to stress is not how RISPA always copes to stress. Everyone,
like mine is very strange.
Yeah, everyone behaves differently in different scenarios.
Yeah. There are people who are extremely happy because they want to put a cover on what is going on behind the scenes or in their mind. And there are people who are they just become completely closed off.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, sad. They don't mingle, they don't talk.
And then there are those people who just say, oh, this is what has come. Okay, how do we improve? And let's move on. There are people who move on very fast.
Yeah.
But then there are also people who pile up. For instance, if I know it's RISPA, I found RISPA in the corridors discussing me with person X and person Y over a situation that I'm not in. For instance, myself, I'll come and face RISPA personally. You.
And ask you.
I'll ask you. If you don't want to tell me the truth, I'll deal with you the way I know best. People behave differently for this interview. So learn how to cope with stress, and again, learn to understand your environment. And for this interview, guys, it might be bad or it might be good on how you take it. But when you have your achievements again, your achievements can give you stress. So learn to share with whom you're supposed to share. Never share all your achievements, either publicly or even in some social sectors. Learn to know whom you are sharing these achievements with, because your achievements can be used against you.
Yeah,
even when you're grieving again, learn to know whom you are sharing with, whatever problems you're going. Never tell everyone your problems. How we become vulnerable, it's because we either share our joys and our sadnesses to everyone and anyone, especially to people that you don't know of. Guys,
and you don't even know their name.
And people will always talk about you. This is another thing that people need to understand. Whether you are Angel Gabriel or Angel Michael of the world,
people will always find something.
People will always find something about you. By the fact that people will always find a fault in you, please continue doing good. Continue doing the very best. For me, I say, I'm work in progress myself. Me, I'm work in progress.
And everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are people who quote unquote believe I'm Miss Perfectionist, Mr. Perfect. For me, I believe I'm a human being with faults, trying as much as possible to improve my life as life goes by.
Yeah.
So you see, with all those, you'll now be able to understand your positives and the negatives.
And negatives,
And
and you know how to
and
balance.
then there are people who are genuinely happy for you.
Yeah.
Learn to understand who is genuinely happy for
That's
you.
why we need intuition and
Yeah, discernment. You need to tell the Holy Spirit
to guide
for
the
this
listeners.
interview, we are Christians. We believe in God. So you need to always tell God. And and as I said before, you need to get that one person to be telling you the truth. I should say them an accountability partner who tells you the truth.
Yeah.
And another thing again, you need to also learn to have a circle, a small circle,
very
of
small.
very small, who understand you,
Yeah.
who can come to your house when it is upside down,
Yeah.
and they help you clean it up.
Yes.
By the time they are leaving the house, they'll not go speaking about you.
Yeah.
Because you see, like
Gossiping
right now,
and judging.
everyone in this country is going through their own share of trouble. And when you know that everyone is going through their own share of trouble, somebody might come into your life, quote unquote, helping you. But when you're out there, when you are gone, they will call a kamukunji or a grapevine. You'll be grapevine for a whole
Grapevine. Yeah. Now you are topic of the year.
the topic of discussion.
Every time they meet.
Including even in some meetings when you are not there.
Priska.
Yes, they will always
Some
say,
will even form WhatsApp groups.
That's when you never
Madness.
know. You've never known that people form WhatsApp groups
Yeah,
to
to
discuss.
discuss.
You? Yeah, they do.
They even form a friendship.
And mind
Just
you,
because of their mutual interests
and
or
mind you,
opinions.
probably
over
the 3 or the 5 of you, 3 or the 5 of the people that have formed that WhatsApp groups are not best of friends. But
because of you,
because of me,
they will somehow agree.
Somehow they will agree.
And
they
just
will discuss
before we continue, I have to mention this. To be honest, for lack of a better word, shame on you. For if you allow yourself to be impacting someone's life negatively, you could do it differently. Whether they were right or wrong, you can choose to do it differently. But why go about it the wrong way? It just doesn't make sense to me.
The Bible says, correct your brother in love.
In love.
You see, when there is negativity, it means that all of us are work in progress.
Yeah.
So if you've known your brother has had a problem,
So find a good way
please correct them in
of
love.
correcting them.
And whatever
with love.
whatever that you do, though you've corrected them, learn to keep quiet. Learn to
Be quiet. If you have to talk to that person.
Yeah, and
if you can't talk to that person, leave it. Because whenever you're going to talk about it, it won't be helpful to that person or yourself. I don't know.
As people say, what goes around comes around. So when whoever that you're discussing in those forums, this is about mental health and mental wellness. You need to make sure that your environment is conducive enough for you to be productive. If you're not productive, what happens next? Alcoholism will come. Drug abuse will come. People are handling rape, sexual abuses. You know, you find somebody who is 30 or 35, they say that I was raped by my boyfriend in the house. How are they raped in their how are they raped in their own house? It's because they don't want to engage, but then this boyfriend has forced it to them. Because of the environment. The person is already stressed.
The
and
person
they
you have become because of different situations may
Yeah.
cause you to do bad things.
No wonder you were saying in the interview that how do you handle this person who believes that my marriage is fine and everything.
Yeah,
They're not
God.
there. They're not there.
Or relationships.
Yeah, they're not in that relationship because of the mutual benefit of having a family and growth. They are there for physical satisfaction. getting the money and the resources.
They're
So-
driven by the wrong
The wrong motive.
motives.
So you see, with those kind of things, you really need to be very careful.
Okay, I think for the first part, because we have so many things to talk about, let us end this here. Watch out for part 2 of this discussion. I hope you're learning something. If you feel we have left out anything, or you feel like you have a question or anything that we can answer, you can share on the comment section. So let us finish this for now and watch out for the next part of this discussion. Bye guys.
Subscribe tafadhali.
Yeah, we need to get to 1K.
We need to grow, guys. Support talent. Guys, you need you need to support this queen from the land of bananas.
Yes,
Support her. So unaona anakaa kama the banana yenyewe.
Yeah, guys, subscribe, and thank you for watching. If you have watched to this end, you are my hero. Nakupenda kama ndizi.
Tuseme tunakulombo top kama ndizi ya Kisii.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, watch out for the next part. We are gonna be talking deeper things.
Cut.
Bye.